Good morning, everybody, and a happy Wednesday morning to you. As usual, we have a lot to cover. But first, this video is sponsored by Better Not Younger. So I want you guys to watch this. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm back to talk to you again about the Better Not Younger hair products. Now, I told you I don't advocate products unless I try them first. So I tried the first set of products. I told you what I did, how I liked it. Then we did the second commercial because you guys were all commenting, as I showed you, on my hair and how much you loved it and were I using the products, and the answer was yes. So now I've decided to try a different product. Now this one is called Silver Lining because, as you can see, the gray in my hair is not very, I don't want to say brassy. This is natural. This is not the stuff that, is dyed in, but it's just not looking as good as it could. So I went onto their website. I did the questionnaire. I ordered this. I'm going to give it a shot and I'll let you know how it turns out. So here's the before. Okay. And once again, just like last time, I want to show you I'm in different lighting. And here's the bottle. Here's what it looks like. So I'll wash my hair and we'll see what happens. FYI, this is the color of the shampoo. It's purple. So just like last time, I'm done. And just like last time, my hair was ridiculously easy to brush out and there's like no tangles. The difference with this shampoo is going to be in the color. Let's see what it looks like after it's dry and straightened. And here we are at the end of the process. My hair has been washed, dried, and straightened. And I happen to think that the gray, the tone of it, looks much better. So once again, I'm going to give this product a thumbs up. Just as a reminder, this is cruelty-free, it's vegan, it's paraben and sulfate-free. So go check these products out, use the link that's in the description box, and don't forget to use the code SueSmith10 to get a discount, and enjoy. In all seriousness, you don't ever think about you need different products when you get older for your hair, but when your hair starts to change color, it thins. Yeah, you do actually. So, all right, let's move on now. We have a lot to cover today as usual. Let's go. Now we're going to start with a comment made by one of my subscribers, Robert Steele. Now, if you're not American and you don't watch SNL, you may not know it, but there was a skit with Chris Farley and a bunch of other people about living in a van down by the river. Here you go.
All right, how's everybody? Good. Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Now, let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old, I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river. Now you kids are probably saying to yourselves, hey, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna get the world by the tail and wrap it around and pull it down and put it in my pocket. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably gonna find out as you go out there that you're not going to amount to jack squat.
For those of you who have never seen the skit, it's on YouTube. Look it up. It is hilarious. All right, let's move on now to Edward. We know that while he was on his trip abroad, he went to the cemetery for the Commonwealth war graves. These are people who passed during World War II. You all may not be aware of this, but this was Edward's first trip to Indonesia in almost 30 years. Last Friday, he attended a dinner as part of his tour under the patronage of the Duke of Edinburgh, and we know all about this award. I believe that this dinner took place after he went to the school. I've already shown you pictures of that already. But I just love the fact that Edward has picked up where his father left off. And maybe it's just me, but out of all of the children, I think Edward is the one that looks the most like Prince Philip. And I just think it's wonderful that he was able to become the Duke of Edinburgh. And I think it's wonderful that he's able to carry on his dad's legacy. Yep. All right, moving on. Now, we know on the 26th of November, Edward went home. He arrived back in London where he was reunited with Sophie. They've both been very busy. Edward is on these tours. Sophie was very busy while he was gone. She attended, the dinner with the president and his wife that came from Korea. They're keeping them busy. Next up, we have Princess Anne, who did an award ceremony at St. James Palace for the Hallmark of Excellence for Outstanding Training and Skills Development. It's one of the Princess Royal's training awards. Again, proving herself one of the hardest working royals. All right, let's move on now with Harry and Meghan. The story about the shoelaces and the sheets is like 20 years old. And it's being brought out that a lot of the claims that Omid is making are just rehashed old news because there is no new news. Okay, here we go. This is one of the more outlandish claims that came from Omid Scobie. According to him, Catherine and Meghan were both encouraged to dress like Diana so some of her shine could rub off. I've only been able to find one outfit from Catherine that even remotely looks like it might have been a copy from Diana. Again, I've told you before, Omid is using this book to pick at every grievance anybody has had, that Meghan and Harry have had. So people have noticed that Meghan has been dressing like Diana. How many times have I said it's like she took a picture, had it revamped to bring it more up to speed? Well, according to the book, Meghan would be given outfits based on ideas which used photos of the late princess for inspiration. What did I tell you? That is literally exactly what I have been saying all along. Now, this is what Omid said, and I'm quoting, "At the right moment, this can be a sweet gesture, but there's also a slightly queasy feeling when you realize it's orchestrated within the same system that contributed to her living in misery and an institution that still wants some of Diana's shine to rub off on them." Who in the world believes that? Let's not forget that before they were even married, she was wearing outfits like Diana. And let's not forget that Harry went around telling everybody that, doesn't she remind you of Diana? She's so much like Diana. Absolutely nobody else saw it. But here you go. Here's pictures of Meghan wearing outfits like Diana years before she met Harry. So don't tell me that she wasn't copying Diana. She's been copying Diana since the get-go. And I'm not the only one who happened to notice this. According to Taz also pointed out that this problem is, Omid's like, this will happen, but the problem is she did it before she met Harry. Now, she also, way before she met Harry, copied Catherine. And after she met Harry, she copied Catherine. It's a little creepy. Now, the next grievance that Harry and Meghan have with the royal family is that Meghan wasn't allowed to the Queen's bedside as she was dying. So here we go, victim Harry. He got the cold shoulder from William right before the grandmother died. Omid is claiming that Harry sent text messages to William and William ignored them because William didn't want to see Harry. I think it's very interesting to make that claim when we know that actually what happened is Harry and Meghan made a public announcement that they were both going. Charles called and said, "Your wife isn't welcome here." There was some sort of a fight. I'm sure Meghan was very upset and there was a fight. But we also know that the plane with everybody on it sat on that tarmac for over an hour. And the only explanation for it sitting there was they were waiting for Harry to show up. Harry didn't show up because he was busy calming Meghan, who was being left out of this, big moment. And that's why he wasn't on the plane. I don't believe for 1 second that William ignored him. Ugh, my goodness. All right. Here's the next thing. We know that Harry does not believe the fact that his mother passed away because she was not wearing a seatbelt in a speeding car that was being driven by a drunk driver. Okay. So Omid has now come out saying that Princess Diana passed away in the car crash because she was, quote, blinded by a major white flash from a chasing photographer's camera. That the chauffeur, Henry Paul, was blinded by a paparazzi photographer on an overtaking motorbike, and he lost control and hit the concrete pillar, and that's what happened. Now, an official inquiry was done. A whole thing was done. And apparently, Omid said that it was a joke, what happened. And yeah. In the meantime, all of a sudden, out of the blue, a plane is caught flying around Montecito with the words, Prince Harry, Mum's fate accidental? Wonder who paid for that. And it looks like somebody paid over $3,000 for that nonsense. Yep. Omid is attempting to bring back up the whole Diana thing. He's trying to bring up the old conspiracy theories. Not only is he nitpicking and attacking everybody, but he really still wants to go back to something that happened, 25, 26 years ago. And you should hate the monarchy, and you should hate King Charles, and she was murdered. And he's saying that the royal family is not popular. This is all untrue. As a matter of fact, the more Omid and Meghan and Harry attack, the more popular they get. You know, I have to agree with Van72. Every single thing that Harry and Meghan have accused the royal family of doing, they have done. They have breached the royal family's privacy. They've accused them of all kinds of horrible things. We've already heard about this supposed letter. Don't forget that Omid put up a tweet saying that she's going on about her life. She doesn't care about the letter. She's not worried about all of this. And yet, here we are again. Agreed. Even the accusations of William sharing Harry's private information. I also find it very interesting that Harry is sharing all this private information about his brother, like whether he's circumcised or not, but Omid didn't even bring any of that up. It's being reported that Harry really wants to fix things with his family. Unfortunately, unless he is able to quell all of these attacks on his family and stop them, there's no chance of it being repaired. Personally, I don't think it's ever going to be repaired. What he wrote in the spare is going to stand for old time. What he said in the Me You Can't See, what he said on the Oprah show, even though Oprah removed it from the internet, we've all seen it. We all have our screenshots of it. You cannot undo the damage that you've done. So do I think he'll ever be able to return to the royal fold? No, I don't. I just don't see it happening. Before we move on, I want to say a thank you to Meghan's mole for finding this. Remember, Meghan said repeatedly that she never Googled the royal family. Here she is in 2014. She is Googling the Queen. And if you zoom in, that's the Queen right there on the screen, upper right corner. Liar. For those of us who thought that Omid might leave Sophie and Edward alone, we were absolutely wrong. When they sat down for an interview in 2021 with The Telegraph after the Oprah show. They asked her, what did you think about the Oprah show? And the couple joked, who's Oprah? And, what interview? Very simple. So what did Omid say? Well, they're bigoted. And Sophie also said, and I'm quoting, if you're not into chat shows, there's no reason why you would know who she is. And that's absolutely true. But of course, Scobie said, and I'm quoting, the comment about the world's most successful Black woman and one of the biggest faces in entertainment, that's a lie. They may seem stuffy and tin-eared at best and casually bigoted. So because they wouldn't acknowledge the Oprah show, he's calling them bigots. Yep. Omid also attacked Princess Michael of Kent and said, and I'm quoting, she has made it all about race because that's all everyone does these days. You have got to be kidding me. I don't know anybody that would do that. Anyway, and I'm quoting, he said at a March 2021 meeting, Princess Michael of Kent couldn't stop herself from indulging in gossip with an aide about Meghan. And then he went on to say that she was never a fan of Prince Harry's wife, that Meghan made it all about race because that's all everybody does these days. I happen to agree. You guys, this man, he's not going to stop. These are his claims, and most of them have been proven untrue. Okay, here's Harry and Meghan's next grievance. They're hurt about the delay in giving their children their prince and princess titles. Now, if you can believe this, Harry and Meghan say they were scarred because it took 6 months for the official website to be updated. And now they said that Harry and Meghan are comparing themselves to William and Catherine and their children. You can't be compared. You're not on the same level. That's the heir and the future heir. Your children are going to be treated differently because they're not in line to the throne. I don't get the whole I'm scarred thing. Didn't they say they barely escaped from the UK with their lives and their sanity? Why would they want titles for their children? Now their children are going to be in the fishbowl. I agree with Naomi Skye. I thought this book was about the future of the monarchy. Instead, it's all about Harry and Meghan's feelings. Ugh. Okay, so now the reviews are coming out, and they're not good. Yeah. The New York Times compared his book writing with that of a bot. The BBC said it might be awkward for about a minute, so go and make a cup of tea and it'll be all forgotten. The Times said it was nothing but ancient history. 2 stars from the Telegraph, and points out that Scobie is upset that he was shut out of the palace, but that happens when you tend to trash those people publicly. The Independent gave it 3 stars and says that Omid didn't hold the Sussexes accountable for anything, like that's a big surprise. The Daily Mail headline is, "So who did brief you?" And in the meantime, I agree with this. Scobie is holed up in a hotel room in New York taking selfies of himself. Now, this Twitter user wrote like a 3, tweet synopsis. It was so amazing. I'm going to read it to you. Now, of course, you're free to freeze the screen and read it for yourself, but if you don't want to, here we go. He paints Meghan and Harry in a relentless saintly light, doesn't hold them accountable for anything, and demonizes William, and that's how you know who's behind the book. And it's that last sentence that lets you know it's Harry and Meghan. They have written 3 books, including this one, done 10 interviews, 1 podcast, 1 Netflix docuseries, put out thousands of PR articles, and it's always been William and Catherine. So what have they done? They have harassed and stalked him and his wife and competed with every engagement with either a stupid pap shot or a last-minute planned event. They have slated him in book after book, interview after interview. They've orchestrated rumors on him like the affair rumor. They have violated his privacy and his wife's privacy by leaking private conversations with text messages. They have attacked and abused the Wales children online. So who's really the victim and who's really to bully here? She also points out in this Twitter post that once again, they made sure the world knows that the Wales children received gifts and they didn't even get a thank you note. The truth is, Harry and Meghan will not go away. They're obsessed with William and Catherine. William and Catherine want nothing to do with them. It is a psychotic obsession. This is what it's like to have a stalker and be harassed. Harry and Meghan are so jealous and vile. William stayed the course, invested the time and energy, is paid off. He's exactly where he wants to be. He's married to a wonderful wife. He has wonderful children. He's got everything he wants in life, and he's doing well. Harry, on the other hand, has always been impulsive, impatient, reckless. He's not where he wants to be in life. He's actually not married to the person he wanted to marry, and he's not doing what he wanted in life. So as a result, he is very, very unhappy. And it shows in the way he's still wallowing in the past and the way that they can't stop attacking William. The harvest of tomorrow is always a result of the work you put into planting the seeds of yesterday. Spot on. All right, you guys, I am looking for those comments like the first one. Make them good. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you've already subscribed, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. If you've donated to me through my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, have a great day.